Hello there.
Hello.
And hi, you guys. Welcome to Dog Hugs. This actually is take two. We're sorry that we're late today. We had a technical glitch. We were actually showing the show, and a few minutes in, it's like, there's no visitors. That's not like this. Yeah, Robbie, it's just really great to see you. Great to have you back on the show with us today.
It's good to be back. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Isn't Spider doing well? He has just really progressed.
No, he really is. There's none of the barking.
Okay. Yeah, not barking. Come on, up. Hey, you're cheating. Back up. Hup. Yeah, there you go. Get in the hug. So today, actually, let's get Spider started on his busy box. Right up here. So if this is your first time seeing the show, each of these towels is filled with a couple of treats. We put it here on the floor. There are actually a few towels strewn about from our first take. Sit.
He loves his treats.
Wait there, buddy. Okay, have at it. And he'll be back soon. Folks, today we're celebrating our 75th show. Well, actually, technically, I think it was yesterday was when it was. And
was it? Oh, okay.
Lost track of it. But yeah, we're celebrating today. And boy, it has been, what a ride it has been. And we really appreciate folks that you've really helped really make this into a real show.
We've had a lot of great people that show up like every day and they really interact. So it really makes it great just to know that we are, reaching different people with the different guests that you've had on. It's just been amazing.
Yeah. I mean, so many milestones to think about.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one I'm thinking about right now, Robbie, is when you said, let's do a cat show. So, folks,
and I've done a cat show.
If you haven't seen Robbie's show that's at this time every Wednesday, please check it out tomorrow from the Cat Box. Robbie, you have a guest tomorrow.
I do. Tomorrow I am talking with Paula Gregs. She is the vice president of the Cat Writers Association.
Right.
She is also cat mom to Truffle and Brulee, who are the most beautiful Persian cats you will ever see. She blogs over at Sweet Perfections, and it's Purr, of course.
Of course.
And Paula is going to give everybody, lessons on what it's like to share your life with a Persian. And one thing that I didn't know is if you live with a Persian, you personally have to spend a lot of time brushing them.
Oh, so instead of walking my dog, I'm going to be brushing my cat.
Yes, you would. And probably you'd be brushing them longer than you'd be walking Spider. I mean, they've got those beautiful coats and they're so thick. And I just don't think that they can effectively groom themselves down to their skin. So they would get all matted. I had no idea, but it's something people need to know because, you adopt or get a cat and then or even a dog, and you don't know what kind of work they take.
Well, I can't wait to learn about that because I have so many questions to ask Paula. So I'll be tuning into your show, and folks, I hope you will join us as well.
And I'm hoping that her cats will make a cameo. We've been talking about it, so hopefully she can round them up and at least get one of them on there. So, and maybe Ickis will be around, so he'll make an appearance.
Yes. Well, the other big highlight that I'm really present to is that how Geraldine has joined our team.
Yes.
And she's on the road this week. She and her husband decided to take a little driving vacation. And so they left the dogs at home with pet sitter and went to Breckenridge, Colorado. So if you guys are in Breckenridge and see Geraldine, say hi to her from us. So Yeah, she has just added so much to the show, and I'm sure you folks would agree with that as
She
well.
really has.
Yeah, yeah.
Her energy is just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, look who's in the audience.
I see her there.
Show ever. G-Dog. What is it? You can take the G-Dog out of the something like that, but you can't take something like that out of that. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Geraldine. That is really, really great. And it's my good friend Scott Kaiser. I love this show. Well, we love having you with us, Scott. Love you, brother. Look forward to seeing you on Zoom on Wednesday night again this week. Yeah, we have a regular group, Robbie, as you know. That meets every Wednesday night, and Scott is the reason I'm in the group. Yeah. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and Geraldine has already given us a little clap back. No, it's not clap back. Up here in dog-friendly high country, missing you all. You, G-Dog. Great.
There you go, Geraldine.
And hello from Stephanie. Good afternoon. Great to see you with us. And Varsha, sorry I messed up your name. Hello, I hope you are all safe. Yeah, I am safe, How are you, Robbie, safety-wise?
Doing well. I live in rural part of New York.
Yeah.
So we have not really had many cases of COVID if we're talking about that kind of safe. And this is timely, and it's a lovely segue that I'm making. I think you'll agree. We are in the mid-90s with a ton of humidity. Our heat index is kind of through the roof. We've got 3 cats, one of whom is a senior who we really have to keep an eye out on, and 2 dogs, and it is Pet Hydration Month. So
great segue.
I know, I told you. So, it's so important, even though our dogs are in the house right now and it's air conditioned, they still need to have all that water. And when we take them out for their walks to do their business, we take water with us, because even a short walk, could be really dangerous for them. And, especially Murray, our big dopey golden doodle, he works up a lot more energy than Hazel, my little poodle. So he gets really thirsty really quickly. So I just might happen to have a video to share with everyone.
Let's go ahead and do that, folks. Here we go. This is an interview, not an interview, a conversation that we did just before Geraldine left town. We recorded some stuff on Pet Hydro Month. Enjoy.
And I just shared our YouTube video too.
Oh, fantastic. Here we go. I got to play the video. Where are you?
So I'm in Breckenridge, Colorado this week, and I'm actually checking out the dog scene there and the cat scene. I'll be sending a couple of my reports on some pet-friendly hotels and stores, and actually some video, because they boarded off the whole town, and now they've turned it into one big pedestrian zone with lots of shared street. There'll be animals everywhere. So exciting.
Folks, if you happen to be in Breckenridge, Colorado, look for Geraldine.
I'll be there. Now, I won't be taking my pets this time, and I'll explain the reasons why later. We're going to be not doing travel pet sans pet this time.
Right. They'll be with your pet sitter.
They'll be with my pet sitter during that time. Not a healthy time to be traveling with my pets at this moment, with Senna being barely 8 months old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to put him through more immunizations. But one thing I do really have to make sure that happens with him while I'm out of town is that he stays hydrated, because it's getting warm and humid here right now. I took them on about an hour and 15-minute walk today, and it was hot and humid. So I want to make sure I hydrate them really well before these walks. But there are many times when I take them up to the water bowl and they don't touch it. And even though I say, take a drink, we're going for a walk or a hike, they go, yeah, take one later. So I trick my pets by doing a couple of different things to get a little bit more water in them without throwing them in the pool.
Yeah, July is Pet Hydration Month, all month long. It's a time when we can really be conscious about giving our pets extra water. So watch this little film right now, and on the other side of that, we'll be back with you.
Water is life. Water is life. It is, and our pets actually cannot go more than about 3 days without water.
Period. Done.
Period.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
have an ability to find water. Dogs can actually smell water. We cannot smell water.
Oh.
We can kind of, not really. I mean, you can kind of smell
You can smell the things that are in water.
Yeah, it's more than that.
Yeah.
But they are able to smell water. If they couldn't, they wouldn't be able to find it out in the wild back in the day, because there wasn't they didn't like pedal by a water bar, like, hey, pull in and have a drink of water like that. It was not always present. So
what are some good ways that we can make sure that our pets are drinking water?
Well, one is to always have fresh water available to them, and the part here that's really important to stress is a clean bowl, because a pet's not going to go over to a water bowl that's stinky and never washed. And also, there's a slime layer that becomes a part of the bowl from the dog's saliva, and they have a different type of saliva than we do. Their digestion does not start in their mouth; ours does. So they have a different I'll call it a different chemical cocktail in their mouth than we do. So it's really important that we. You were going to say.
Yeah. How do we successfully clean out our pet's water bowl?
Well, you for certain things you kind of can't. You need a really high temperature dishwasher to clean a stainless steel bowl or a ceramic bowl. And there are some companies that make disposable water bowls out of things that are organic that actually compost down. So there are some options for you for water bowls, or a glass water bowl, but you have to be careful because some pets will break one over. So but there are certain tempered glass ones that won't shatter. So there are some options, but you really have to get that hot temperature and that enzymatic cleaner, like a dish soap.
Yeah, Spider has the old school stainless steel water bowl, and I'm mindful to rinse it out each day, and as you were saying, to really give it a solid cleaning at least once a week.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of rinsing it out every day, so the slime layer never has a chance to get thicker. So I'm more of an everyday clean it out, and I'll bleach the bowls on occasion if I don't feel like they're getting clean enough. But I definitely do that properly and safely. Yeah. Keeping a clean bowl, keeping a nice amount of water around for them is a must. But also, I'll take ice chips or crush some ice and add some to their food so they get a little bit of that.
Really clever.
I'll also use a bone broth or some type of I'll call it a Gatorade, like a electrolyte. If I'm really working the dogs out a lot, but I know their levels in their system are off, especially if I see them peeing more than they should, they don't have enough electrolyte in their system. So I'll get them something that will work well for that. It's usually a bone broth. I prefer some kind of a broth. So those are a couple of different ways.
Another thing that I use to give Spider and myself additional electrolytes is a little bit of coconut water.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's a great You can make coconut water ice cubes too and crush those up.
Oh, that's really clever.
Yes, that's a really great one. You can just making certain, like I said, that you have, and making popsicles. We talk about popsicles all the time where we soak their food in water till it's mushy, and then we fill the Kongs or Bionics or what have you. We fill the toy and freeze that in a safe way so you're not dripping goo all over your fridge or your freezer, and then give those to them once or twice a day. That actually helps a lot with hydration as well.
All kinds of techniques for that.
Yeah, well, there are many more. I mean, you obviously don't want to overhydrate your pet. There's a couple of safety tips that are really important. When Arden Moore was on this show the other day, she said, ice, not nice, baby. So if your pet overheated, don't go giving him a big bowl of ice water, and definitely don't go throwing them in a bathtub or a pool full of ice water. You could throw their system into complete shock, and they could actually pass out. I used to have an iguana. If he got too cold, he would go into basically a hibernation. And if I were to put him in too warm of water too fast, it would not have been a pretty ending. So you always remember that water's a really great thing, but you have to pay attention to temperature. Definitely pay attention to temperature. And don't let them drink too much when they come back from a long walk. If you put a big bowl down, gallon bowl, big jug of water, and they drink that whole thing, they could very easily die from that. So be mindful of how much, what temperature, and when you're hydrating your pets.
Excellent.
A lot of people do not realize that their pet bowls are not very deep. They're kind of shallow. They're not. There are a few out there that are deep, but there are not that many. And a dog actually, when it drinks water, pulls water up from the backside of its tongue. So imagine a dog's tongue coming out, grabbing the water, and then pulling it in its mouth and putting it into its mouth. If there's not a deep enough reservoir of water, that pet can't pull very much up into its mouth. So you may think your pet's drinking a lot of water, but it's not. And another example, which is a really great example, and it happens to be an example that comes directly from one of my pets. My Border Collie Mini Aussie mix, Casey, she has a tongue that goes to the left. When she yawns, her tongue literally kind of zigzags and goes out to the left and curls up on the side of her face, not straight out like a normal dog's tongue, our tongue would do. So when she laps up the water, half of it goes out of her tongue.
Okay.
So she would spray my entire floor. So I have a deeper bowl, so as she splashes the side, it gets caught in the bowl and comes back in, and that makes sure there's enough water for her to drink. Because you might think your pet's drinking a lot of water, but then you realize that you're drinking on the back of their tongue, and if this bowl's not deep enough,
out it goes.
Out it goes, or they get all as much as they can. It's not enough. It's only 2 cups, and they need 4 cups, and they can't really get that last half cup because their tongue can't get to it. So that's a really important topic when it comes to purchasing a bowl for your pet to drink. What to do if your pet is overheating? You do get him in. So say you go for a walk and you're worried that you want to cool your pet's inner core body temperature down quickly, but ice water is not going to do that for you. It's going to send them into shock. I put them in a bathtub and I turn on the cool water, not cold, just cool, and just slowly start letting their feet are going to be in the water, and that's as the blood passes through, it's going to start cooling their body temperature down. But you do not just go plunge your pet into cold water. Do not turn the hose on and start putting freezing cold water on them. And also, where I live, if I turn on my hose outside to rinse anything off, the first few gallons of water that come out are usually hot because it's warm now. So be super mindful of water in general, and don't leave your pets unattended around, even your kiddie pools, etc. Because all it takes is for them to slip and bump their head. And it's not that they didn't know how to get out of the kiddie pool, it's that they bumped their head. They might have gotten excited. You weren't there. So I'm a big proponent of just never really letting them out of your sight right now around.
Supervising around water. And there's a myth also, while we're on that subject, that pets know how to swim naturally. Even water dogs need to be taught how to swim. Your golden retrievers, your Chesapeake Bay retrievers, all of those dogs need to be taught how to swim. don't throw them in the deep end. Sorry to laugh. Don't throw them in the deep end of the pool.
Well, water doesn't make any sense to a dog because they can't figure out how come. First of all, they can't see it very well. They can see it, but it changes color, like it reflects things. And so to them, it's a moving object. It's alive. One. Two, and most importantly, they can't figure out why birds or boats or kayaks or paddle boards can sit on the water, but they can't. Like, and if I'm in a kayak and my dog is sitting next to me, he thinks he can just walk out onto that water, like he can just walk over and grab that bird, and they can't. So we have to be very mindful. Being very mindful of that fact helps you teach them to approach water in a whole different manner, where they respect it and they understand it as opposed to being afraid of it. The key to, especially if you have a pool, a swimming pool, is to be able to teach your pets where to get out of the pool. Swimming, they'll pick up on pretty quickly. Getting in the pool, they'll pick up on pretty quickly. But when they're panicked or they fall in by accident and you are just happen to not be there for that 30 seconds, they can get out. And that's key. And also, I try to remove any hidden dangers, but I always train pets around the pool so they know how to walk around without falling in, and to go in on command or when I give permission, as opposed to whenever they want.
Yeah, it's really key. When my golden retriever was very old, I had at night left I have a swimming pool in my backyard, and had left the screen door open, and then I fell asleep, and suddenly in the middle of the night, I woke up because I heard this splash, and then I realized, oh my goodness, my dog has fallen in the pool, and so there I am in the middle of the night in the darkness, really still trying to orient myself, trying to rescue my dog from the pool. And this is a golden retriever, a swimmer.
Yes, actually dogs, people, animals in general need to learn everything, be trained on how to do everything. Yes, there are some ingenious dogs out there and cats that just pick up on stuff naturally or so in tune with their owner, they know exactly what to do and when. But for the most part, those are rare, and there are many of them out there, but for the most part, you have to show them, and you should want to show them the yeses and the nos. Yes, go here. No, don't go here. Be careful when you're over here, or wait until I show you. I mean, and I'm being illustrative. However, you guys understand what I'm saying. You communicate and train them in the areas you want them to go and where to be cautious. So it takes time to do it. It does take time, and it is a commitment, and it is fun. So I make it into a big party.
So there you go. Thank you very much, Geraldine, for that great explanation on water safety and on hydrating our pets. While we were going along, Robbie shared some really valuable links with you folks, and we saw some lovely comments in there as well. So let's actually get to your comments. From my dad and my mom, welcome you back.
So nice.
Yeah, it's really great to have you back, Robbie.
Well, yes, I said welcome back with a heart, and it looks like it's from Positively Woof. Well, it is from Positively Woof, but it's from me personally.
Oh, that's
I
beautiful.
appreciated that.
Really beautiful. Yeah. And Geraldine, you are the best team, best dog show ever. Yes. Well, thank you, Geraldine. I love that. Miss you too. And that's a very cute picture you got there, Lynn Morin. So cute indeed. Yeah. And again, Robbie posted some really excellent stuff for us. Yeah. Well, look who else is in the audience here.
Who?
Paula Greg.
Hi, Paula. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's great. Can't wait to see her on your show tomorrow with us, with you on From the Cat Box. And folks, if you don't know about our companion page, it's called CRIMELESS Cat. And actually, we'll put up our little Crimeless Cat logo in the corner. You see it change from P Wolf to C Cat. Yeah, there you go.
Because cats are mostly innocent.
Mostly.
And you know, Larry, I wanted to say something about hydration.
Please.
We have a fountain bowl for our pets.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Our 2 Devon Rex, even when they've got the full bowl, they always want to drink out of a sink faucet. So we got one of the fountain water feeders, and they will drink out of that because they see and feel that it's fresh water all the time. So all of the pets really like the moving water. And the other part I like is it's very easy to see when that bowl is getting empty, rather than when we used to use just like a plain white bowl or a silver bowl. We couldn't always see it was gone until we'd kind of walk out and feel around for it. So I really like the fountain because we hear it and we see it.
Well, you know who else?
Like Paula, cats have fountains too.
You know who else likes the fountain? Paula Gregs. My cats have 3 pet fountains. How many cats does Paula have?
I think only 2.
2 cats.
Wow, my pets are feeling bad now.
It's kind of like the litter box rule. I mean, you know, ideally you want to have one more. How does it go? One more litter box than you have cats? Something like that? Yeah.
Yep. So
3 fountains as well. Yeah.
So I've got 5 animals in one fountain. Oh, no.
So who hogs your fountain? Murray, I'll bet.
Murray.
Yeah, Murray,
He's a big dog, so he's out there drinking a lot. So we're constantly filling it, which is good because then it's constantly fresh water. But yeah, the Devons do love the feeling of the water. They splash in it. It makes a mess, but they like the moving water.
Yeah, and for folks who don't know what Devons are, what are Devons?
They're Devon Rex cats. They kind of look like pixies. And if I had one close by, I would grab one and show you, but nobody's around.
One of your 2, including our mascot for
Ickis and Oblina. Yes, Ickis is the mascot for Crimeless Cat. He's got his pointy little ears and his little tiny football-shaped face. He's adorable.
He really is. Yeah, they're both adorable. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you guys for being with us today. My shelter shout out today. Let's put up that banner. There we go. Today, it again is going to the Latham Foundation and their humane education and support organization and foundation that have been around since 1918.
Wow.
You heard me right, since the time of what we these days call the Spanish flu. That is pretty amazing. They've been around for more than 100 years. And do such really great work supporting so many foundations and really to uplift the conversation about how we are kind and companions and bonded with our pets and animals in general. So blessings to the Latham Foundation. Any shelter or rescue organization or animal welfare organization on here today?
You know, I don't have a specific shelter, but I do want to mention again cat cafes.
Oh, yes.
That is just such an amazing way for people to, get a cup of coffee, hang out, relax, meet some cats and kittens, and, adopt them. I'm not really sure if the cat cafes, I'm not really sure where any of those are in the phases of reopening, but I just think that's such an amazing idea that these cats just live in this cafe and you get to interact with them and maybe take one home.
I had my first experience with a cat cafe, and we did a wonderful article together on that up in Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my first time experiencing one, and it was great. You first go into the coffee shop and get what you get, and then you go through this double door area.
Mm-hmm.
And after you've washed up and everything, and then you go in, and then you sit down. And if a cat chooses to come over, they're just kind of roaming the space. If a cat chooses to come over and anoint you with its presence, then you're good. So I got in there and I was reading a book. I was doing email, and a few hours went by.
Oh, wow.
before my ticket was up, because when it's full, they need to rotate out so everybody gets turned. But it was just such a wonderful, relaxing experience.
I have never been to one, but it's on my list of things I want to do.
That might be a project.
My husband might not let me, because if a cat comes over and anoints me with his company, it may be coming home. So there you have it.
Sounds like danger. I was going to say, if you were to start a cat cafe, you have two different places that you could start it in.
Well, that's true. That is true. But I'm afraid that I would not let any of the cats go home. So, I know my limitations, Larry, and it's like they come into my house, they're not leaving my house or my cafe.
So in addition to crimeless cat, it would be catless cafe.
It would be. Well, you could come and visit the cats. You just couldn't take them home.
That's great. Who is somebody on your mind, on your heart today for a blessing?
My blessing go to you and Geraldine, and to really everybody on Positively Wolf and Crimeless Cat. Anybody who knows that I suffered a really big loss in my life 2 weeks ago, and I'm still really struggling. So I thank you for giving me that time to grieve. And, I know that you did a tribute to Henrietta that I have not been able to watch.
When you're ready, or if you're ready. Yeah, great.
I know that I will at some point, but
great.
Still a huge loss.
Yes. Well, my gratitude and blessing today, and Robbie, I know you'll share in this as well, goes to Geraldine. Yeah. And hope you're having a really fun vacation, partner. And we really appreciate everything that you bring to the show and that you bring to the world about uplifting us both in the world of dogs and in the world of cats. You're the best.
And in life in general.
And in life, and well said, Robbie. Yeah. And we're also grateful for you folks. And thank you so much for sharing this time with us today. And tune in to Robbie's show tomorrow at the same time. And we'll see you back here on Thursday. Take care, you guys.
Bye, everybody.